Yeah, well, Tommy, thanks for joining us on the show, dude. It's really good to actually catch you. Of course, man, the new Squid Pisser album, Dreams of Puke, I love saying that, came out on June 14, and it's a great fucking album, man. It's pure chaos. It's something that has to be experienced, I think. It's not something you can really explain to people, which makes it special. It's a special kind of art.
Cool. Thanks for saying so. Yeah, it's been it's so long kind of like of me wanting to do this project. It's been like 2 decades that I've wanted to do Squid Pisser, and I've just been kind of like waiting for the right time. And then, right when this album comes out, there's a kind of like we're saying, it's like all this stuff to do, get it up, get it ready, get all the art, like send it to all these people. And then like when it comes out, I'm like on the road doing other stuff and I'm too busy to like enjoy or realize like,
Mm.
oh right, yeah, this cool thing like is really, that I've been working hard on is starting to see the light of day. And it's I haven't even really had a second to like look out and see what people are thinking or anything yet. But like, so it's really cool to hear that you're saying that. And I'm talking to somebody who's listened to it because I haven't even done that yet with anybody other than like my bandmates and stuff, so it's
Oh,
cool.
really? What? Man, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, like
I guess
cool.
you've
Well,
been so
thanks, man.
busy.
Yeah, I've just been on the road, and so I've just been like been kind of insulated with like just me and the band dudes. And
Mm.
so like we haven't just realizing now I haven't talked to anybody who's listened to it. That's not, us.
Oh man, that's cool. You wrote like 100 songs for it or something, right?
Yeah, so like I'm gonna start diving back into some of that stuff because it's time to start working on new material. And I'm like, I know there are some cool seedlings of things that we can maybe revisit or get back into or develop a bit more. So yeah, the writing process was like um several months long, and it was just me furiously in my studio just like banging ideas out just all day long, like 10-hour days, just because I think it was the pandemic or like right before the pandemic.
Mm.
And just kind of was like um yeah, and then especially a lot of it took place during the pandemic, so it was very, I just embraced it. I'm like, all right, the world's shut down and this is going to be a great time to just kind of cocoon and like work on stuff. So it was exciting.
Did you find that, the further you got into that writing, the weirder things got because of the lockdowns and stuff like that? Because I know we were all going crazy down here. You know what I mean? Like, and you sort of start getting that little cabin fever and it starts bleeding off into the art. Did you find that at all? Like,
Man, I feel like I'm normally, because everything's I don't have a lot of downtime a lot of times, so
mm,
I'm usually more frantic in everyday life. I felt very at peace during the pandemic. It's like nobody expected me to go to any birthday parties or shows or anything. I was just like, cool, I'm just here for like indefinitely, like just kind of cozy. And so I felt more at peace than anything, honestly. So I think if anything, it kind of maybe helped like me turn all these wacky ideas that I had musically into like somewhat cohesive songs. Like maybe
mm,
it did the opposite. Like, um, because normally I'm kind of like going off on tangents and the structures are all wild and stuff. And with this, I was able to just kind of like focus and get kind of, okay, here's like a beginning, middle, and end concise approach to songwriting. So maybe, yeah, I think it was kind of the opposite effect to answer your question. Yeah.
did you set a goal though? Did you say I'm gonna write 100? Because I got interviewed another band the other day where this dude's doing 100 days of writing. Like he's set
Whoa.
that goal where it's like he's went home to New Zealand and he's like, I'm gonna set 100 days song, just smash that out, which I think's crazy. That's like
Yeah,
down the rabbit hole.
man. That's awesome though. He's gonna have like so much material to work with. Hopefully it's not overwhelming because sometimes that becomes a problem. You're like, I have all this stuff now. I'm like, how do I sort through it? That was a bigger problem than just kind of
Mm,
like free form ideas out. So my approach was actually just, I'm just gonna do like a Logic session. I sketch stuff out and record in Logic all the time. So I was
yeah.
like, I'm just gonna do one session a day. And like some of them had like some of them were like 7 minutes long with like 25 different ideas just strung out that all strung together. And then some of them, one day I'd have like a song idea. I was like, oh, and some of them certain days it would just be like a ton of ideas that didn't even necessarily make sense. So like I found that going through and sifting through everything after I had done the initial kind of sketch ups of things was definitely the hard part, like organizing
Mm.
things into a cohesive manner. Yeah.
Is there have you
But there
got like,
wasn't,
sorry, I think
yeah,
we've
go
got a
ahead.
bit of a
Sorry.
delay. No, no, no. What were you going to say?
Um, I don't, yeah, there wasn't really a goal. It was just like, just be
Yeah.
working every day and just embrace this time because I don't know
Mm.
how long I'm going to have basically. So, um, that was the goal, was just to like be fruitful basically, you know? And then, yeah, try and get better at songwriting in general. So yeah.
Have you got a Prince vault? You know how Prince has got like the vault of songs? You know, have you got that
Um,
in hard drive form, I guess? You know,
yeah, basically. I kind of do. Yeah, I have a whole other like 20 song album that we might, who knows if we'll develop it further. And then I have like a bunch of other stuff too that are like Squid Pisser centric. And then I have like a bunch of GWAR riffs that potential, everything's just potential, it's like and Cancer Christ, we have a bunch of demos. So like, yeah, I'm always working on stuff and like kind of filing things away into folders and like, okay, we'll revisit that. And a lot of times you'll kind of like, if you listen, sometimes you need perspective. So it'll be like, I don't know if this is working. And then you come back 3 months later, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Actually, I have a new perspective on it. Sometimes you get, like you said, in the rabbit hole, you're kind of just
yeah.
like too inside of it and you can't really see outside. But yeah.
It's hard. Sometimes you get on that little treadmill, you know what I mean? Of that you listen to something over and over and over again, and then you go back and you go, I hate it. You're like, I just,
Oh,
and then you
yeah.
got to pull it apart and try and put it back together when there probably wasn't anything really wrong with it to begin with. You know, it was just you just got in that frame of mind. You know.
Right. Yeah. How often have you been working on something and then like after so many like renditions of it or whatever, you come back to like the first form that it was in and you're like,
Yeah,
oh, actually that's pretty good.
yeah. You're like, ah, fuck, what was I doing? You just throw everything off the desk. You know.
Yeah. But hopefully you learn something in that journey. And a lot of times I know that I did. It's like, okay, I exhausted all of these options. At least I know I exhausted these options to get to back to,
Yeah.
okay, so I didn't really do that much. And hopefully the more you do that, the more you realize you don't need to waste time exhausting all the options. You can just go with your gut on things sometimes, which I'm trying to learn.
Yes, which is very hard to do sometimes. You got to trust that instinct, words,
Yeah.
things,
Yeah. Yeah.
instincts. Yeah,
Totally.
sorry, it's early.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's tough to trust yourself too because you're always second guessing and there's like,
Yeah.
whatever artist insecurities we have, like, well, it's not as good as whatever the band I grew up with,
Mm.
but it probably is, I don't know. It could be, so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think it is. I think you're onto a good thing, dude. I really like what you do. So, one thing I did want to know was Squid Pisser, like, how did that concept come along? Like the mask, the concept, everything. You said it's been cooking for a little while, right?
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of go back to like the first time I saw GWAR when I was like a teenager, and I'm like, oh man, they've got everything. It's like I don't. It's okay to, and I say this a lot. Like this is a big conversation. I've had this conversation before, where it's like it's fun to go see bands, and sometimes the music's enough, but like man, it's just like why not go the extra mile and just like look cool too, or like like thrust your audience into a realm that's never existed before. It's like if you're gonna watch a fantasy movie or something, it's like you need the sets to look sick, and why not do that if like you have that opportunity um with a band, and people do, and I've always, that kind of maybe kicked it off. It was like, and then I was always into other bands that did that, like Slipknot was a big one when I was like 13, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, yeah, it's so ominous and creepy, and like it leaves a lot up to your imagination of like who these guys are, what they're thinking, and everything. So that's kind of the answer, at least with the masks and stuff like that. It's just more fun, I think.
They look so pro, man. Did you make them yourself? Was that from Slave Pit? Was they done?
Um, no, so our friend Eris, who's actually from Richmond, or near Richmond, I think, designed them for us, sculpted the Squid Pisser masks. Um, and we went back and forth with sketches for a little bit and a lot of like mood board stuff, just photos of like other cool things and vibes, and not some of it just like, ambiguous to any form or anything. It was just like, here's a color palette or like a shape or something. And so we just kind of whittled and narrowed things down in that way. And then Eris had sculpted and said, what about this? And I was like, that's perfect. And so that's where we're at right now. And these ones are starting to deteriorate, especially the more that we've been touring. Like they're falling apart on us. So we have to figure out what we're going to do for this next round, whether it's going to be a new design or something. But it's fun. It's like exciting, and another part of it that's
I love them, man.
fun.
Are you looking at selling them so you can have people in the crowd, like, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, this last tour, because like, man, touring's so expensive.
Yeah.
I'm, you know, it's a lot. And so Eris had actually made some like Halloween versions of them, kind of just latex. Like,
Yeah.
I go like this, like a masks.
No, I can see. No, I visualize. Yeah. There it
Like
is.
this, flopping around. Right. So we have like these foam latex versions that are kind of softer and more form-fitting, but then there are these easier to make kind of slushes, I think it's called, where they're like Halloween masks. So we did have a few of those on the road, and we're like, let's just like dirty them up and do some art on them, or color them a little bit, and like see if we can sell them. And people were buying them at the show. So yeah, and we have ideas to kind of like make them available, different versions, maybe even like vacuum form ones one day. I don't know, just like fun stuff that people would like to, have. So yeah.
I will buy them. I will put me down for 20. I would like one.
Whoa.
No, seriously though,
I'll keep you up to date.
I'd buy. Yeah, man. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. But of course, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, the band ticks all the boxes of stuff that I grew up on. Like, of course, GWAR, Napalm Death, Mr. Bungle is another one. Are these sort of bands? Obviously, we've talked about GWAR, but are those the bands that really part of the DNA? Would you say mixed up together?
Yeah, I think it's all from that like piece of cloth, cut from that same piece of cloth, like definitely Mr. Bungle is one where it's just like having fun and pushing boundaries and subverting expectations and trying to do something like just that is not typical. My favorite bands are bands that you can't compare to other bands really,
Yes.
like Melt Banana. It's like, who else sounds like Melt Banana? Nobody has ever sounded like that band. And it's like, and those ones pop out to me. They just kind of like spike out of all the rest of all this shit. So like there can be a band that's really good at song structure or whatever, but like, I don't know, if it doesn't have its own thing, like I almost feel like what's the point? So that's why I'm always trying to do. And probably in the past, like, you try so hard and it might not even be that great, but it's its own thing. And to me, that's important. And if you can do a combination of the two where it's like, it's good, it's speaking to people, it's resonating, and it's its own thing, then yeah, that's like the sweet spot. So not to say I've perfected that, but I'm always trying to get there.
Well, there's nothing like it. As I said before, there's nothing like Squid Pisser, out there at the moment. I hear it, and that's what I gravitated towards. Like, it's not your regular sort of band. It's got all these things. It's like its own little universe, and I love that. Even action figures. You got action figures, man.
Yeah, I got some right over here. This dude, Nid, forget his name's Israel, I think is his name. Yeah, he sent me these. They're so cool.
Look at that. That's so good,
Yeah, yeah. And then Michael, our guitar player, has one too. I think Israel just sent someone. But yeah, these are badass. I just have these right over here.
Are they for sale, or are they just were they just gifts for you guys?
Yeah, they're just gifts, which we're really lucky that he sent them to us. And so I don't know, maybe we can strike something up or figure something out, make them available somehow. That would be radical. Maybe we should do that. I haven't even talked to him about that.
Because I'm all about action figures and nerdy shit. It all rolls in for me. So
metal,
so Yeah, put me down for the whole lot, man. I'll just give you my credit card details
All
now.
right.
And my wife will be like, "What's all
Yeah.
these charge? What are we getting charged for Squid Pisser for?" And I'm like, "Well, funny story. Yeah.
Send me your address. Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about the name. It sounds like Aussie slang. Have you ever been to Australia?
I've always wanted to because in the mid 90s, rollerblading, I think, was really big, or at least that's what I heard.
It was,
And
yes.
there was a lot of skate back then.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite bands ever, Silverchair, is from Australia, obviously. And so I've always wanted to go, and I love surfing too. So man, I gotta go. You're in Brisbane?
I'm just south. Well, man, I'm on the Gold Coast, which is south of Brisbane, where we've got the beaches and stuff like that down here. So you would want to come to the Gold
Oh,
Coast. Man, I'll put you up. You want to come down? I'll put you up and take you. I
dude,
can't surf because I'm seal shaped, so I kind of, you know,
you can Seals are surfing. They're like cruising in those waves, right?
yeah. But
Is
we've
that it?
also got the, you know, I'm
Oh,
delicious for
fuck.
sharks and shit. So I just
And in
watch
the great.
and drink beers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds like Aussie slang. It's something like the name sounds like something that we would call. So we go, oh, that'd be a real fucking squid pisser. We've got weird, you know.
Cool. Maybe we could catch on down there.
It would.
That's cool. I never.
Well, we've
Yeah,
got.
we got to roll down. Yeah.
Yeah, you do, man. You definitely have to.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, you did the artwork, right, for the cover?
Oh, so that's on Dreams of Puke. It's this artist Gregory Jacobson, who's fucking amazing. And he's a pal. We kind of struck up like just like a friendly, internet relationship over the last almost 10 years or something. I'm looking for a record because he has this cool band called Lovely Little Girls. And oh, here we go. Yeah, he's awesome. You should totally check him out. Um, Lovely Little Girls, Gregory Jacobson. This is on Skin Graft as well.
Yeah, Rud.
Um,
How good's that art?
so cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Um, all their stuff's great. You should. They're totally total weirdo band. Same thing. It's like nobody sounds like them, and I really appreciate that about them. But
And, well,
yeah,
man, that's awesome. I love the art. It's different. Everything's different about the band. So, people liking the shirts. You getting it on the shirts and stuff like that over there?
yeah, we had a bunch of shirts. Man, we ordered a lot of shirts for this because we were touring with Necrogoblicon. We did 2 weeks, and then we did like almost 2 weeks with GWAR on the East Coast. And so, yeah, we stocked up, had a bunch of stuff. We've been selling stuff. It's been it's been feeling good, and it's been working. And it's cool to kind of see like, touring works. And
Mm.
it's kind of nothing that can replace that. Maybe in our type of music anyways. I feel like it's like getting in front of people is the best thing. So we've been fortunate enough to have GWAR and Necrogoblicon take us out, and we'll see what's next. We're going to Europe in August, and another tour with GWAR in the fall. And so yeah, we're just stoked to be playing in front of people. So yeah, selling
Man,
shirts.
that's like two bands, like Necrogoblicon and GWAR. Like for me, I mean, I know you're in GWAR, but like for me, that's a big deal. I love both those bands. So
Yeah, hell yeah. Necrogoblicon's so good. Yeah. And they're all sweet.
good dudes.
Yeah. We've known each other for a long time. Alex, the guitar player, is actually managing Squid Pisser right now, and has for a little while now. Jeez. Um, and so he's great, and his team's great. Him and his fiance, Carrie, she's helping us out, like booking, accommodations and travel, and she's been helping us with merch and stuff. So it's kind of turning into a whole family affair where Squid Pisser's kind of been in my head for a long time, and so to see it so many people involved with it now, it's like really just like heartwarming and like just awesome. So I don't know, feels cool.
Man, that's like my dream. Hey, GWAR, Necrogoblicon, Squid Pisser, Australian tour.
Oh, dude. I know GWAR hasn't been down in a long time. I
Yeah,
think
man.
like 15 thing. Yeah. I remember talking with Dave Brocky back like, geez, like, yeah, 13 years ago or something. We were recording dialogue for this cartoon we had done, and he was talking to me about they had brought Gorgor. I don't know if you're familiar with Gorgor, the big
Yes.
dinosaur they GWAR about. Yeah, they brought Gorgor down under, and they had flown back, but Gorgor got stuck in Australia for some time, I guess, and they
Yes.
were trying to get him like in customs or something like that.
I was lucky enough to interview him just at that time. Um,
Oh,
man,
wow.
Dave was my hero, dude. Like I got to meet him very, very briefly in person at Soundwave when they did that. And he was telling
Right.
me how they got stuck, how Gorgor got stuck, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I love that dude, man. No one made me laugh like him. He was the greatest.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
and you
Jesus,
knew
I
him.
know.
You knew the dude. Like, man.
Yeah, that's a really lucky thing to get to spend some time like, you know, um, I guess toward the end of his life there. And yeah, working with him on this, we did this GWAR animated Tales of GWAR cartoon, my buddy Mike Chillian and I. Um, and you want to see my odorous tattoo real quick? Since
Yeah,
we're here
man.
and we're
Yeah, of course I
like
do.
we'll just like bust it out. I don't know if I can.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the best. The best.
Did you show him? Did he get to see it?
No, I think I got it after he had
Oh
passed.
man.
But, like all the people in GWAR now have all seen it, of course, and it's great getting to just hear crazy fucking Dave Brocky stories on the bus all the time. Like, um, sounds like wild times.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that dude was the greatest. So, hail Odorous, hail Gore, as you say.
Oh,
As you say. Yeah, man. But of
that's
course
so man,
sorry?
that's so cool. It's so cool you got to interview him. I gotta check
Yeah.
that out. I haven't seen that, I don't think. Maybe I have seen it actually. I'm not sure.
Well, it was on the ye old radio back in
Oh, okay.
so before we had the technology. But yeah, he was man, I had to have two edits. I had to have the radio edit, and then there was the not so where he's talking about his balls and he's talking about it was fucking hilarious. It was one of the greatest. It was full
Wow.
odorous, and I it's still my favorite thing in the world. So, you know.
Amazing. Oh, I gotta check it. Is there a place I could check it out?
Yeah, I'll send you the link. Yeah, I'll send you
Cool.
I re-uploaded it from the archives last year, I think, or the year before. So I'll swing you the link after the chat. But hey, that's something I want to know. You worked on Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah, so season one, I was like dialogue and animatic editor, and then I did a little bit of music for
Okay.
one thing. Yeah.
Was that you that put was it Odorous and Beefcake in the
So
was that
that
you?
was the no, so
Yeah.
that was the pilot episode. And that's my like great buddy Mike Chillian, who we did the GWAR cartoon together, and he and I were in a band called the Manx together, and we've just done a million projects together. And one of my closest friends, Mike Chillian, and he was storyboarding that first pilot because he and Justin Roiland go way back. And Mike and I were listening to so much GWAR at that time. We were working on stuff, animating. We would just like be blasting like over and over, just GWAR records. And he had thrown them in as a little Easter egg, which is so fucking cool that they're in the first episode.
Man, that I remember seeing that and going, no, what is it? And then it
Yeah.
was all over the internet, and I was like, that's the greatest thing in the world. But man, you do obviously you spent a lot of time doing animation and composing for like Uncle Grandpa and heaps of other stuff like that. Like, which came first for you? Was it the art or the music, or was it sort of both when you were coming up in childhood?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, so as soon as I could, I wanted to make stuff, and I just there was this weird sense of like accomplishment anytime I like drew a picture and colored it all in, and it was done. And I'm like, whoa, I made that, and I would just be like in awe, like that I made something. Like as early as I can remember, I mean, like 4 or 5 maybe, and then I discovered music and I wanted to do the same thing, but like I had no idea how to. Like I didn't come from a musical family. We didn't have any instruments. We didn't have anything to record on. Just like I didn't know. It was such a mystery to me, music, but I was always drawing and stuff. So drawing came first, and then I was hip. I finally found out about music kind of when I was like 8 or something. It was Crisscross. Do you remember Crisscross? Do you know
Oh
them?
yeah, they make you jump.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like the first thing I was like, this is sick. And then kind of from there, I was like, man, I got to figure out how to make music. But it was like several years after that I finally got like a guitar and then an answering machine that I would like record into just with a built-in microphone and stuff. And but as soon as I started experimenting with that, it became like, okay, this is the focus. I'd like to do something with this and just see where this takes me. But then yeah, both I've always drawn and I've always done stuff in Photoshop and like kind of with visual art, it's almost like means to an end with like, okay, well, this album needs layout or whatever it is, so I guess I have to do it, you know. But yeah, so it's just fun to make stuff, I guess, you know.
Oh man, I wish I had that talent. I can just yell things. That's it.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need.
I can think of
Sometimes that's
ideas,
better.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Get other people to do ideas for you. You know, like that's probably the smart way to do things. I'm in the trenches all the time, just like
Yeah.
buckling down. It's a lot, but it's cool. It's rewarding.
And man, of course, joining GWAR would have been an incredible moment for you. I just couldn't imagine what that would have been like. Even putting on that suit for the first time for Gradius Maximus. Like, how was that, dude? Like, was that? It must have felt incredible.
Yeah, it's trippy, dude. Like, so my band Cancer Christ was on tour with GWAR in October of last year, and we had Brent Pergison, Pustulus Maximus, and I were talking. We were kind of secretly trying to get me up on stage as my Cancer Christ character, Snake Boss, to go do a song, and we weren't even going to tell the other guys. We didn't. And Brent's so fucking cool, and he was like, "Yeah, let's just like get you up there. You know how to play the song, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." And like, tapping like over the days before, and so like that was the trippiest. That probably was even trippier than the other, getting my own Grodius mask and all this stuff. Like getting up on stage that first time was just, I almost passed out. Like I forgot to breathe. Like I'm on stage with GWAR right now. This is like the most come to fruition, just craziest moment of my whole life. And I remember Eddie, the guitar tech, he was like, just like, you're okay, just breathe. Here, tune your guitar, like right before going on. And just like, it was really overwhelming and awesome. But yeah, it was a trip for sure.
Man. And of course, I mean, going to slave pit and stuff like that. How's that and being involved with all that?
Dude, that's trippy, man, too. It's just like I have a key, and when I go to Richmond, I'm just like, all right, I'm going into this fucking slave pit now. And it has a smell that hits you. It's like sweat and latex and like whatever else they use in the shop, probably paint, like who knows, like, and there's a very specific smell that just like overcomes your person when you get in there. And then yeah, man, and then I'm in there for like 14-16 hour days, like before tours, because I'm just like, okay, going over this, going over that, and it's a lot, and it's a totally surreal thing. And then just like being friends with those guys now, it's like, I mean, now it feels normal and stuff, but like there's definitely a trippy, surreal part of all of that because they've been my favorite band since I was like little, you know. So it's crazy.
Man,
it's cool.
It's very cool. It's very good. From another fan, I couldn't even imagine being in that position, you know, and being, oh, dude, it's the best. It's the best. So, I mean, outside of that, you know, you mentioned Cancer Cross, but what's the status of that band at the moment? Like, what's going on with that band?
Yeah, Cancer Christ is doing really well, kind of up and running. We have a really good, solid group of people. In the beginning, we kind of just like got anybody in LA in the band, not anybody, like people that we love and respect and all this stuff. But like, we were just kind of like, everyone's welcome, 2 drummers, 2 bass players, 4 guitar players, all at the same time, like noise people and snake babes dancing and fire and all this stuff. And so it was this big, huge, just like open arms, open door policy. And as people were coming in and coming out, it's like we kind of settled on a group of 5 of us, and that's who we have now. And so it feels really good to have that. And there are ride or dies in the band, and then there's like I have a bunch of stuff, so it's kind of tricky because we're navigating on like how to proceed, because I'm touring so much with my other bands, and we're trying to figure out like getting a fill-in on guitar for when I can't make it. And then our drummer also like just had a second kid, and it's like, so we've been playing with this other dude, Martin, who's an amazing drummer, came with us on our last tour. And yeah, it's in really good shape. And we had just put out our record, God is Violence, and we're all really stoked on that. And we hadn't written in a while, so we're not together anyway. So that's starting to happen now, and people are doing it in different pods and stuff. And it feels really cool because I was very much at the helm. Anthony and I, the singer, were guiding everything and pushing everything forward so hard that he and I, specifically he and I, in a big way in the beginning. And now it's just kind of taken shape where like we have a great staff, I guess, and everyone's like running with it.
Can as the question before was, can we expect to maybe see you down in Australia at some point with something? Have you been talking about it?
Yeah, there have been. Yeah, we're always talking about flying to play shows, and all of the bands are trying to figure that out right now. And we're just kind of, we're saying yes to everything we possibly can, and logistically lining everything up, and just, trying to make shit happen. So yeah, we'll be down there eventually, and it'd be great to see you, in any capacity, and especially at the beach, drinking beers and surfing.
I will make sure that happens, dude. If you leave a couple of days, like we'll bring you down. Dude in my band, his family own a few restaurants, so we can chat your food. Whatever you want, man. It's all, yeah, man. We got that, and then we got to teach you the Australian slangs. Like, have you heard the one, didn't come here to fuck spiders? Have you heard that one?
No, is that a tourist thing in Australia or what?
No. No one actually fucks spiders. But what it is it means it didn't come here to mess around. So you need to bring that to. I love that. So yeah. So if someone goes, "Oh, are we doing this?" You go, "We didn't come here to fuck spiders, mate."
Cool.
And that means didn't here to fuck around. So there you go.
You guys have humongous spiders there that are this big that you actually could fuck if you wanted to?
Yeah. Put a little lipstick on that thing and you're good to go. No, it's not. We don't actually do that. But no, man. Yeah, they're pretty massive. They're pretty big.
I want to see them.
Yeah, I've seen like the we call them huntsmen. They're like, I've seen them as big as my hand. They're pretty harmless, man. They'll just eat flies and stuff. But when you see them in the house, they're pretty intimidating.
Are they soft and fluffy? Do they have fur on them?
Not big like tarantula fur, but they're like
cute, huh? They're kind of scary.
Yeah. Well, who was it? Dark Funeral. Years ago, my old band opened for Dark Funeral, and the dudes and they got the corpse paint and they're all, in their suit, and there was a big huntsman out the back, and they were like, "Oh no, let's get it away."
Dude, that's creepy.
But the thing didn't. It just scurries away. The snakes, on the other hand, they will fuck up your shit really bad. So we stay away from them. Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah. I'll do a whole I'll do some research before I come down and kind of figure out what I can do and can't do.
Yeah. Welcome to Death Country.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah. But it looks beautiful, and I don't know. As long as I don't get eaten by a shark when I'm surfing, I think that's
why I won't get in the water with you. So, because as I said, I'm seal shaped, or I'll swim the other way and that'll keep you safe. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Oh, dude, it's been really cool hanging out with you. We're going to have all the links down here and on the website. Tommy, have a good day, dude. And let's do this again soon. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, hit me up. It'd be cool to see you on your turf eventually. So I hope that happens.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, absolutely. But dude, hey, I'll catch you soon.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Yeah.
Thanks, man.